So ladies, I have another devotion for you here. And Audrey, you recall that I preached at a church several weeks ago, and this was really a short order sermon that I gave because I didn't really have but maybe a day and a half to prepare for it. But I think I did, quote-unquote, sock it to them when I preached at this little Baptist church. But you recall, especially you, Audrey, the point that I made that the gospel, justification by faith, the good news, is still relatively unknown to the Christian community today, just as it was during Martin Luther's time, in the 1500s. And the reason that I gave is that human nature is fallen and the world is fallen and we have Satan's influence. Then the other explanation that I gave that maybe I haven't given here in a ready fashion is the fact that justification by faith, or grace, is literally not of this world, nor is it of this universe. It's something that came to us from outside. And so because of that, we can never really understand it in its entirety, which is why you have, the hymn, Amazing Grace, and then you recall, Audrey, that I said, well, maybe we should give it a different title, maybe Incomprehensible Grace, and maybe even rewrite some of the lyrics, God forbid, of the hymn itself to reflect that, because that's really what it is. And so the point is that for us to really accept justification by faith, we have to get beyond the four factors that I just gave you here that are standing against it. And you recall too, Audrey, that I made the point at the end of the sermon, really one that was made by Ronald Reagan, but in a different way, where he said to the people of this country back when he was president that we're really just one generation away from losing our freedom. And that, as a result, it belongs to each generation the responsibility educating the people around them and flagshipping the origin of the United States so that we can keep our freedom. Well, I think, just as I said in my message, that it's much the same for justification by faith within the evangelical churches of this country. The Metho-Baptirian Costal mix of Protestants, and I think even some elements, surprisingly so, of the Roman Catholic Church itself. Because of human nature and the world and Satan and the origin of justification by faith, we're always just one generation away of re-obscuring the true purpose of Christ, just as the people in the early church did. And then, of course, it took someone like Martin Luther, with all his faults, to re-flagship the purpose of Christ. And so it's much the same today. Every generation of believers, due to the factors that I gave you, must re-educate the people around them and re-flagship the true purpose of Christ, which is that He's the fulfillment of the law, the Sabbath, the sacrifices, the feasts, the new moon celebrations. And as believers, all we have to do is give ourselves over to that reality. That's the gospel. God bless you both.